Sometimes in history, there's this magic moment. Somebody appears on the scene and everything changes.
I am with you.
We've never seen anything like this.
I will fight for you.
This was a man who's met his destiny.
And I will win for you.
He said he was saved by God in order to make America great again.
His victory was the greatest comeback of all time.
You're watching history, so buckle up.
I don't think the American people have ever seen this before. A government that has moved this quickly and a president that has done so much when it comes to the border and energy and major investments from other countries. It's like warp speed.
47's on a hot streak, bringing head-snapping change to Washington, overwhelming the system with a volcanic eruption of action. Trump has a mandate from the people, and he's using it, and they're just getting started.
President Trump said on the campaign trail, success will be my retribution.
Despite the best efforts of those who would try to censor us, silence us, break us, destroy us, Americans are today a proud, free, sovereign, and independent nation that will always be free. We're going to have one shot at this, and no other president's going to do what I'm doing.
America's back, common sense is back. He is keeping his promise to you, the American people.
Inflation is down, growth is up.
The numbers don't lie. The economy is soaring.
Lowest gas prices in 4 years.
And record tariff revenue.
The USA is on a roll, culminating in the signing of the One Big Beautiful Bill on July 4th.
The Trump economic golden age is full steam ahead. America is back, thanks to the courage of President Trump, thanks to the leadership of his amazing cabinet, and thanks, of course, to our brave men and women in the United States military.
This is a message to the rest of the world. The days of ripping off America and Americans are officially over.
Between the attacks on Iran's nuke site and the Maduro operation, the U.S. military recruitment at an all-time high.
This president will go down in history as a peacemaking president.
Peace through strength, America's in charge.
And he's just got one filter, and that is America first.
Whatever they're doing, it's working. Zero illegal crossing, drug cartels frustrated, less crimes.
We have the most secure border in the history of this nation. If you think we're doing good now, you just wait till this coming year.
The president isn't taking his foot off the gas in 2026.
It's a new year. The stock markets are already making new record highs. The Trump archive are a series of near impossible feats.
As for the next year, the American people have so much to look forward to. The president will continue to build off of his historic accomplishments.
2025 was setting the table, but the banquet's going to be in 2026.
This is the golden age coming.
He says, make America great again because every American is invited.
My fellow Americans, get ready for an incredible future because the golden age of America has only just begun.
On the Fringe with Dan, RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there is having themselves a great day. We are in changing times, my friends, and that's what we are all about. The White House posted this today. Patriots are in control, just in case you missed it. Yeah, we've got a lot happening. Donald Trump was, of course, at the handoff. I don't know what the proper way to say it, but the dignified transfer of the individuals that have passed away. The 6 so far, and unfortunately we found out there's a 7th today. We'll get to that story next, but here is Donald Trump doing the handoff, if you will.
Iran continues to throw everything at them. This is the president shaking hands now with folks from the military as he's welcomed now to Dover Air Force Base, and you can see Secretary of War Pete Hegseth is right next to him, shaking hands as well as the president gets into the beast there. Congressman, this week, 53 Democrats, 53 House Democrats voted against declaring Iran a state sponsor of terrorism, and that included people.
Yeah. So things are playing out. The deep state, you can almost tell what you're supposed to kind of go for just based off of what most everybody's saying. I mean, just what it seems like, right? I don't know if you guys, I look at the news, so unfortunately I see a lot of the differing opinions. And I find there's a lot of people that are really hell-bent against doubting Trump. And I'm going to tell you guys this. I'm backing Trump. If Trump's doing it, nobody else has had our back. And everybody that bitches about him, in any way, shape, or form, never has anyone else in mind. This is what kills me. It's like, all right, so I'm supposed to have no hope? Like, at least, yeah, he might become a global dictator. Who knows? But he seems to give a shit about our country. And it's evident. And everybody tried to arrest him and throw him off a cliff and shit. So kind of easy to believe. And I know what's going to happen to my punk ass if something happens to him. Assuming he was actually in the screen somehow, because he's not. CENTCOM update. This is from U.S. Central Command. Tampa, Florida. Last night, a U.S. service member passed away from injuries received during the Iranian regime's initial attack across the Middle East. The service members was seriously wounded at the scene of the attack on U.S. troops in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia on March 1st. This is the 7th service member killed in action during Operation Epic Fury. Major combat operations continue. The identity of the fallen warrior will be withheld for 24 hours until they can inform next of kin. We have, what is this one? Oh, this is Jesse Jackson's son before, trying to tell everybody not to politicize this, that all are welcome. And yet, every single Democrat didn't give a crap and used it as a political stage. Now, we don't share that. I want to share his speech because I believe it was actually beautiful. And this is Jesse Jackson's son. And Jesse Jackson passed away. And all said, he's Democrat. There's a lot that goes. There's a lot of history. Jesse's, who knows what he's been caught up in. Again, I think he's a reasonable person. He's been involved with good stuff. And he was definitely a friend of Donald Trump's. And Donald Trump speaks well of him. So again, I'm kind of an idiot when it comes to history. I didn't really care about this stuff when I was younger. So I know Jesse Jackson, and I didn't dislike him. I was kind of always said center-left kind of. I'm like Elon Musk. I've always been there. Like, I've just been chill. A lot of people, I don't know. I just ended up getting stuck next to y'all. But ultimately, I think we're a lot closer than everyone else. That's for damn sure. But all that said, this is a beautiful speech, and I hope you guys appreciate it. Check it out.
Life that he lived.
Each day we...
Let's try starting it from the beginning, though.
Do not bring your politics out of respect to Reverend Jesse Jackson and the life that he lived to these homegoing services.
Right.
Come respectful and come to say thank you. But these homegoing services are welcome to all. Democrat, Republican, liberal, and conservative, right wing, left wing, because his life is broad enough to cover the full spectrum of what it means to be an American. We only ask people to come and be respectful in the context of the extraordinary life that he lived.
Each day we wake up to some new assault.
All right, well, I'm not gonna give these punk asses a chance, but you heard what he said, right? And of course, yes, of course, they were gonna politicize it. I'm not gonna play them. I'm not giving them the stage. His son deserves it for sure. We've got a horrible tornado, I guess, that's ripped through Michigan and Oklahoma. I believe the death toll is about 6 people thus far, and it's again, hearts out to people, and certainly many, many lives have just been turned over. The damage is extraordinary. I don't want to play 4 minutes, but yeah, you kind of get a feel for the absolute carnage. And yeah, again, hearts and minds and prayers, please, to these people in need. We've got a lot of harm's way people right now. And some of us maybe, based off these stories here, here's the thing, guys. Okay? Game's on. It is the storm. Okay? I don't care if you're waiting for Trump's tweet to affirm it. We are at the place where stuff is going to happen inside this country. Now, I think it's been minimized. Largely. But threats seem to be a commonality right now. Now, again, people that make threats, especially this time, especially with this kind of stuff, well, these are people that are going to get yanked off the street at least, but the panic they'll cause is pretty catastrophic. Here's an example. I'm positive the sound I don't think matters. But yeah, this is someone that took a plane hostage and threatened to blow up a bomb. Now, when they landed, come to find out, oh, here it is. Okay, I guess the cops come on and arrest her. Yeah, nice. Everyone's got to put their hands up. So this is when they arrest the person for claiming they had a bomb. Not allowed to do that. FBI said there was no credible source of anything, but they had to do it, right? Or was that related to the Kansas City thing? Because that's also was a bomb threat. Which one's this for, though? The plane? Yeah, the flight. So yeah, I did that right. Kansas City Airport was evacuated today, Sunday, as authorities, including the FBI, investigated a potential threat. Now, again, come to find out it wasn't. It was a bomb threat called in. They immediately evacuated an entire terminal. So this is the kind of stuff they're pulling off. Now, here's the thing. I don't think they're getting away with it. I don't believe, and this is one of the things where like people are saying AI can't help or can't monitor what's happening here. Here's the thing, guys. Big Brother's been monitoring us forever, for a long time. And we're now using their tools against them. And so now all of a sudden they're trying to make weird noises. But ultimately they're just trying to protect themselves. We've already been spied on. So let's use that against them too, is my point. If all we need is a FISA judge on our side, okay. I mean, again, that's just a stupid example. And we're not going to break the law or cheat the law. But we can use the same things. So we are hopefully catching some of this stuff. There was a device literally hurled at police at the Gracie Mansion protest, and it was literally determined to be an actual IED, an actual explosive device. Fortunately, it didn't work because that's how God works. Old timeline, new timeline. We're on the new timeline. A lot of the old timeline stuff might not work. It's not saying we have some magical powers, just there's some things that are not allowed to happen. Here's an example, or whatever you would call it. They got the guy. I don't know if he looks Middle Easternish, but by descent, I didn't hear him talk. The accent's always how you can tell how long they've been here, right? That's the first thing people try to get rid of. They try to ditch the accent because they get tired of it. You know, they get tired of people, where are you from? What do you mean, here? You know, and you're like, oh, you don't sound like you're from here. Right? It's always probably a Southern person saying it. This is a huge deal, and in my neck of the woods, kind of. I mean, it's in a place I would never go, called Los Angeles. Oh, God, sorry. Oh, man. Oh, twice. Sorry. That nasty city north of me. And it's, I don't even want to say the other city. Sanford. Anyway. Queen of LA's deadliest super gang is snared as secret orders of the Mexican mafia kingpin are revealed. The feds nailed this chick. One of California's most dangerous female gangsters has been snared in a daring FBI raid. Literally. Kiko Gonzalez, known as Moms, La Señora, La Queen. She was taken into custody during a series of pre-dawn arrests across Los Angeles this week. Why did I say that so Spanishy? That's so weird. The 59-year-old is accused of running the notorious 18th Street Gang on behalf of her Mexican mafia husband, who rots in the state prison. There you go. Mama going to jail, too. Look at that. Maybe she could pretend to be like a male, you know, so she's transgendering, and then they could be in the same room, or same place together. Guys, insulin resistance. This is a funny thing that's happened to all of us. This is why most of us have a hard time losing weight. Most of us have a hard time getting rid of that little belly no matter what we do, right? You feel like you almost can't eat anything anymore or you'll die, but then you realize, like, especially if you're someone that works out, you're like, but then my muscle starts to go. So you're like, I got to figure out a way to balance this. Well, one of the problems is the foods we eat. Now, again, one of the things that's cool about this particular group, feel great, and that's what you're going to do. You're going to feel fantastically great is what it is. But what's amazing about these guys is you don't have to do anything different. Whatever you did today, keep doing it, but use feel great in your life, and then just adjust how you feel, right? Meaning, When you say, like, would normally crave for like a snack of some kind at a certain time of day, when you're doing the feel great thing and all you're doing is mixing powder, literally, here it is. Here's one of them. Oh, I love this stuff too. It tastes like iced tea with lemon in it. Mix it, and this is powder, not that much water. I don't know, 16 ounce, 24 ounces. I don't know, not a lot of water. Mix it up, real good. It's delicious. Tastes like tea with lemonade in it. And then what I find is I don't have those cravings. I don't have the problem of going maybe a couple extra hours of not eating and staying in ketosis and trying to burn the fat, because that's ketosis is where you burn the fat, right? Now, one of the problems with being insulin resistant, you don't digest carbohydrates properly, they instantly become fat. You see, there's this weird circle that we can't escape. It's the drain if we follow their advice. But if you go to otfspecial.com, otfspecial.com, my Feel Great Unicity, incredible product, you're going to be like everybody else. I've got another example of someone in my audience, but you're going to find that you'll lose weight easier. You'll find that if you're someone that's pre-diabetic, post-diabetic, diabetic in any way, shape, or form, someone that's maybe not diabetic, you don't know. You don't ever go to the doctor. This product is going to lower your A1C. It does. It just has. It's going to lower your weight. It just does without doing anything different. You have this Unimate thing you do twice a day. You just mix it in water, drink it, easy. That's all you do. And then you do the balance at night. It's a fibrous thing. It kind of helps fill your stomach a little bit, first off. Second off, it actually coats some of the foods you eat. And it causes them to be digested a little differently. You are going to notice the city's going to have a larger problem. You yourself are going to start to see your numbers changing in a right way. And you're actually going to feel great in the process. You're going to have energy. You're going to, it's a win-win-win. This stuff's incredible. This guy goes by Tool Time. I hope it's okay I'm using that name. But he replied to me on Twitter, so it's public. So, oh boy, I cut off part of it. That sucks. Hi, Dan, just giving you an update. It's been a month, 3/5/26, that my wife has been on Unimate and Balance. She has lost 6 pounds and 2 inches on her waist, and she says she feels like she has a lot more energy than she used to, and they love it. I feel like I cut off something really important over here. I really sucked on this chop. Sorry, Tool Time, but thank you. Again, I've got Paula, I've got S. Jones, I've got Teresa, I've got Nana, I've got Marion, I've got Thomas. Got a number of people so far that have been on this for just a month or two. And their lives are changing. And they feel great. It's a trip. It's really weird. I do it. I love it. I'm actually at a really cool weight right now. I'd like to go maybe 2, 3, 4 more pounds, 5 more pounds maybe. But I'm stoked. I'm sitting at a really good place. Go to otfspecial.com, otfspecial.com. Feel great. Be a part of the feeling great thing. And you are going to love it. You're going to feel great. All right? All right, let's get moving to the SAVE Act stuff, because it's probably the most important thing we got going on, but there's some funny things in the works. There's some weird pressures being applied. See, we're seeing politics happen, and we've never seen anyone kind of lead the party. We've never seen anyone try to take control. We've never seen anyone try to hold people accountable in such a way as we are these days. Now, one of the reasons that we have to get the SAVE Act passed is because we have all these crazy activist judges that literally think they control the world. I've got another great example coming up. I actually read the whole case. It's kind of why I'm filming late today. But this activist judge for Kari Lake, she has voided Kari Lake's layoffs and the whole cleaning up of the U.S. Agency for Global Media. Literally, just voided it. The leftist judge even ruled her appointment by President Trump unlawful. Judicial coup. The admin will, of course, appeal this. This judge has no chance for anything. But what's funny is judges are starting to get in trouble. Well, smacked. I don't know what this is. But when you have legal things against you as a judge, I don't know how this judging happens, whether they eventually get a non-passing grade and they're no longer I don't know, because we're going to figure it out. We're going to see. Again, this is one of the things I trip out the most. We've had a lot of experts talking about what happens with all these crazy judges, but I've not heard anybody yet say there's some fixed way. Are you going to impeach them? All right. That's a pain in the ass, but sure. If it's bad enough, cool. Let's do it. Again, that's why we've got to take control locally, because it's where a lot of these judges stand. I mean, the district ones, I think it's different, but whatever. So this is a crazy coup. And Kari Lake, they're going to keep bringing the fight to us. And we know that. And this is a bunch of horseshit. And I've got another example of the same kind of bullshit, except the appellate court smacked down the judge hard. And I read the whole thing. I'm not going to bore you with it all, but I have one paragraph highlighted. It's fantastic. Donald Trump, the United States Senate should focus on exclusively, if necessary, the Save America Act. It's what everyone wants. And then he said, not too much like, well, early today, the great job by hardworking Scott Pressler on Fox and Friends talking about using the filibuster or talking filibuster in order to pass the Save America Act, an 88% issue with all voters. It must be done immediately. It supersedes everything else, must go to the front of the line. I, as president, will not sign other bills until this is passed, and not the watered-down version. Go for the gold. Must show voter ID and proof of citizenship. No mail-in ballots except for military, illness, disability, travel. No men and women's sports. No transgender mutilation for children. Do not fail. President Donald J. Trump. And Randy Fine, he's a rep, Republican from Florida, announces he won't vote for a single piece of legislation from the Senate until the Save America Act is sent to President Trump's desk. Thune is being pressured hard. Many senators do not want the Save America Act because many senators will never get elected back into office. They don't want it, but they're being pushed, forced to at least a vote. Let's find out how many of you would rather let people vote that shouldn't vote because you're worried that you're not going to get reelected. Mike Lee, senator, also, posted, which would you rather have the Senate pass? Road to Housing or Save America Act? 8.3% said Road to Housing. 91.7% said Save America Act, and there was 225,000 votes. It's pretty solid. So Senator John Cornyn, interestingly, has now just come out in support of the talking filibuster to pass the Save America Act after pressure. I'm starting to wonder if Ken Paxton, if this was what he was supposed to be doing all along, forcing Cornyn into the proper movement or else. Play by the rules or else. And Donald Trump, all he has to do is give one of them a go, and he intentionally hasn't yet. It's not because Trump's not aware of the fact that Cornyn stabbed him in the back multiple times. Trump's very aware of that. And he used something that works because these two are having a runoff. But what he's also saying is, which one of you guys is going to play my game? And Cornyn's just realized, fudge. So now all of a sudden he's pushing for the Save America Act. Good. You're still not going to get into office, but you better vote that way. Or else, for sure. So this Paxton thing, I think, is a little bigger than a lot of binary thinkers want to think. Maricopa County Recorder supervisors are clashing over early voting. This is kind of funny. They basically are fighting for the county recorder and is fighting the board of supervisors, and they're trying to figure out who's actually in charge of elections. So there's been this agreement, and this lawyer for the county recorder, I believe that's who this Heap guy is. After receiving this agreement, Heap made 170 different changes to it, and he sent it back to the board. This thing they tried to pass for the elections. 170 changes, a lot. And he said this was his final offer. And the board and Heap couldn't quite come to an agreement, so he filed a lawsuit. Heap then he filed a lawsuit to reclaim the legal authority afforded to the county recorder under Arizona law and ensure that his office is not further deprived of the resources necessary to perform those duties to the fullest extent possible. Then on the 17th, this board passes this new set of rules. The new SSA permitted HEAP to have full control over early voting plans, while the board kept control over funding, staffing, contracts, and election day operations. Staffing and contracts, voting machines, which crazy people you have working these elections, whether you background check, whether or not they're... The board wants to keep all of that. So there's this big fight going on, and we'll see what happens. This is obviously going to go up, and up. And unfortunately, Just the News, they write great articles, but they write very long articles. They're like me, they're wordy. John Cornyn chose Jack Smith, Joe Biden, illegal aliens over Trump. Yeah, he's a pile of trash. I don't think there's any reason to keep John Cornyn. But he better vote for the SAVE Act. So we'll see. It might save his bacon, if you will. And cool, if you keep playing properly, John, maybe he doesn't need to come your way. Now, some craziness with the California fires, the Department of Water. This dude does a great job here in the state. And I frankly, because I live here, I feel like it's partly my duty to share some of the crazy California. Not to mention, Gavin Newsom's trying to run for president. So you guys should be aware. And Kamala Harris, Adam Schiff. We got some of the best of them, man. We're delivering excellence when it comes to shitty politicians. That's what we do in California. And then we move to your state and fuck it up. I know. I'm still here and I'm fighting. But yeah, there's a lot of douche holes from this place. Dude, I bumped into a few of them. Trust me, I know. It's crazy. You should try it.
Well, Janice Quinones, the despised head of the LADWP, the incompetent dunce responsible for draining the Palisades Santa Ynez Reservoir before the fire, she has resigned. Why, you ask, did she resign? Because she let us burn without water during the Palisades fire? No. Or maybe because she never shut off the power during the fire, causing additional spot fires throughout my neighborhood? Nope. Maybe she resigned because she had to drain 100 million gallons of water out of the Santa Ynez Reservoir again this year, running a rubber pipe through 6 miles of flammable brush as a backup. Is that why she stepped down? Nope. None of these horrific failures prompted her to resign. It wasn't until the judge in our Palisades Fire lawsuit overruled the city's attempt to throw out our suit against Karen Basura and the LADWP, giving our lawyers the green light to full discovery. That means we get to see all of Janice's emails, text messages, all of her missteps. Now she resigns and she's bailing for Puerto Rico? What a coincidence. What in the heck is wrong with this city? This is straight up mafia cover-up stuff. This place is Chinatown 2.0 under Karen Basura. Basura even commented on the resignation saying, Janice brought steady leadership and engineering expertise to LADWP during a critical period for our city. Her focus on reliability, and strengthening the workplace has helped position the department for continued progress. We thank her for her service to Los Angeles. These corrupt crooks really do look out for each other, don't they? Yeah, thank you for your service, Janice. How do you call it service when she was getting paid $750,000 a year for draining our reservoirs, leaving us high and dry to burn, and then making fire victims pay a fortune to get water connected on their rebuilds? Thanks, Janice. What terrible discernment by Karen Basura, picking Janice to run LADWP. She previously worked for PG&E, the company infamously responsible for killing 85 people in Paradise in the Camp Fire. Yeah, Karen saw that and thought, we got that, we want that. Let's bring Janice magic to LA. Well, she got it, and boy, did we ever get it. Good luck, Puerto Rico. Godspeed.
Now, here's the thing, guys. This is how the deep state works. See, you come to California and prove yourself as a pile of trash because you've got a bunch of people that live here that are ultimately going to be responsible for all the crap that you're going to dump on them. But you want them to still feel like it's cool. You know what I mean? Like the pot that's slowly boiling and you're like, no, we're not dying yet. And then, by the way, they promote them into the national spotlight. And we've done that a bunch. New York does it as well. There's some, we're not alone. We're just as big a dicks about it as New York, I think. I think we're, east and west or whatever, right? We all talk different. It's a mess. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Basura, I like it. Big smile going on. She called Donald Trump to talk about the Pacific Palisades. She didn't think he'd have time to talk with her because of everything going on. Well, he actually called her back. Why? Because Trump actually, one, can multitask. Two, wasn't going to let this slide under the rug and let that be her excuse. And that's exactly what this was. I tried, but he was busy, so he never called me back. Well, he called you back. Said I was reluctant to call. And Trump calls. He's like, hey, Karen, we haven't talked in a long time. And she's like, I was like, okay. So Karen Bass says she talked to him about getting help to fix the Palisades fire. We'll find out. I'm not going to listen to what she has to say to discuss it because she's a fucking lying sack of shit. She is basura. Secretary Marco Rubio posted this. I look forward to working with Kristi Noem as special envoy for the Shield of the Americas, our new security initiative comprised of 13 countries. Kristi has achieved incredible results as Secretary of Homeland Security and will be a tremendous asset in our effort to promote a security and prosperity in the Western Hemisphere. She did not get fired, as so many are fond of saying right now. She didn't get fired. In fact, she's working till the end of the month, and maybe that's how they close out contracts. It would make sense from job task descriptions and pay and all this crazy stuff. But he put her into and in charge of a new thing that's very cool that she'd actually be very good at. Maybe gets her out of the press a little bit. Who knows? I don't know. The reasons why this move happened also likely involve we right now need a slightly different personality in front of the cameras than Kristi. Kristi's maybe a little too, whatever. I don't want to try to, pigeonhole it, but maybe we need a friggin' MMA fighter that basically is like, look, here's what we're going to do. I'm not going to pussyfoot around this. And you're not going to talk to me like I'm some little soft person that might, if you don't lotion often enough, it might break. I mean, she's cute, of course. Oh, this is kind of funny. Someone asked Trump a stupid question. He puts him on test. He was at some sporting thing or whatever. I don't know. I didn't follow it per se, but yeah, it's just stupid. Check it out.
Tell us what went into your decision to replace Secretary Noem with Senator Markwayne Mullin?
Is it possible to stay on this subject just for once? Just for once. Boy, oh boy. Anybody have any questions on this subject?
By the way, supposedly, and I didn't pull it because I don't care either, but Peter Doocy supposedly asked him a question that was stupid, unrelated to the sporting thing. And Trump called his question stupid. And he was like, And Trump meant it. He's like, dude, how stupid are you? It's literally, Doocy. What the hell? Did it not get to you yet because you're too tall? Because I'm sitting down and it's like traveling at the speed of sound and eventually you'll hear it up there in the clouds? You fuck. What was that about? Did I go too far? Chicago One Ray, I guess, posted this. Boom! Let's go, Rep. Barry Loudermilk. He's filed a criminal referral to the Department of Justice on Cassidy Hutchinson. He claims Hutchinson lied to Congress when she testified Trump lunged into the front seat of the limo on J6 and grabbed the steering wheel from the Social Secret Service agents. That agent wanted to testify before the J6 committee, but Liz Cheney denied his request. Will Liz Cheney also face justice for accusations of witness tampering with Hutchinson for speaking with her without a lawyer present? Uh-oh. Are some bad things starting to come out? Oh. I mean, many are saying Brennan's going to be the first arrest, but shit, who's going to be the first arrest? Brennan would be a good one. Be a very good one. So Jonathan Turley posted this, and this sums up everything. I wanted to read one paragraph, but I actually read most of this case. It's fascinating. It's oddly fascinating. I don't normally get into it too much, but this one was good because they were basically berating this judge. But the Seventh Circuit just delivered a haymaker to Obama appointee Judge Sarah Ellis for her efforts to limit federal enforcement of immigration laws. It accused her of effectively establishing herself as the supervisor of all executive branch activity in the city of Chicago. And that is exactly what she did. She literally, in fact, even said that like the Department of Homeland Security had to come to her before her daily and give her updates and anything that they were going to do in the city outside her jurisdiction of her case. Her case involved a very small, individual, discrete area. One area. She spread it out to her entire district. And then said they had to tell her anything they were planning on doing. ICE. Anything they were going to do had to tell her. That's deep state. Deep state infiltrated. This lady is a deep state judge. Judge Sarah Ellis, obviously a deep state judge. These guys called her out. One of the cool parts of a lot of this, the court's injunction also impermissibly infringes on the separation of power principles. It effectively established the district court as the supervisor of all executive branch activity in the city of Chicago, a role another federal judge of appeals has found problematic. See Tincher v. Nome, 164 F 4th 1097, whatever that shit is. That's probably where you look it up from, I'm sure. Quote, federal courts do not exercise general oversight of the executive branch, end quote. So the district court likely abused its discretion by issuing such a sweeping injunction. Trump v. Casa, Inc. As we exercise our broad supervisory power over district courts, vacating this order signals district courts to avoid issuing similarly expansive injunctions against the executive branch. Now, one of the other cool things that they chastised them for, too, just to cover it real fast, and again, I'm not an expert, but they also talked about how the judge, because the ICE thing stopped, the judge was trying to actually close the case and then asked the appellate court to close the case, not do the appeal. And the appellate judges call them out on that as well. Like, you tried to close it without, basically where they could bring it up again, without prejudice or whatever it is, where they could bring it up again. And the government was trying to close it, like, there, yeah, we'll close it, but they can't ever bring it up again. And she's like, no. And she didn't even care what the government was asking for, and still imposed her rule. This is like the person that's in charge of Brazil right now, that whoever the judge, right, the Supreme Court justice that's like got the little frilly, like he looks like the flying nun, whoever the fudge that dude is. This is craziness. And the appellate court, him down. This is funny. This phased-in $30 minimum wage hour thing they're doing in Los Angeles hotels. It's ridiculous. It adds a lot of expense. There's a stupid healthcare thing of $7.65 an hour that they're forcing them to pay also. So it's essentially a 45% increase in pay in 1 year, forced on them by this city. So many, well, one, they're laying off a bunch of their staff, 6% of their staff, which is a lot of people. And two, what's going to happen is they're going to have to charge higher prices. And what's going to happen with the higher prices charges is that you'll actually, since you're going to maybe rent a car anyway or Uber anyway, you just get a hotel that's outside of the city and save yourself hundreds of dollars. And so then those hotels are going to starve. This is standard socialism at work. You take advantage of a booming business and you tack on a bunch of top-heavy bullshit to it and you destroy the business, thinking the business will keep expanding and just paying all this money, just raining money down on everybody. But what it does is it just cripples the building and it falls. And they do it time after time. Cyndi Lauper popping in my head. That's all I got. Here's Scott Bessent. Tough guy. He's talking about the global oil gap, and they're going to unsanction Russian oil. We got an interesting thing going on. Everybody's saying one thing, the war with Ukraine. Again, look at what the actions are. Who gives a fuck what the words are? Please know that, guys. That's the trick. What are the actual actions? What are they doing? What's happening from them? That is all that matters. The words are the story they present. The facts are the facts, and that's the actions. Always look to the actions. Always try to find them. Don't go off of somebody that's spinning it how they want. That's fine. I mean, it's cool. You'll get an idea. You get thoughts, but be careful.
The Indians had been very good actors. We had asked them to stop buying sanctioned Russian oil this fall. They did. They were going to substitute it with U.S. oil. But to ease the temporary gap of oil around the world, we have given them permission to accept the Russian oil. We may unsanction other Russian oil. You know, the other thing Treasury can do here, Larry, is there are hundreds of millions of barrels of sanctioned crude on the water, and in essence, by unsanctioning them, Treasury can create supply. And you know, we are looking at that. We're going to keep a cadence of announcing measures to bring relief to the market during this conflict. And Larry,
think about how much that's going to piss off the deep state. And think about how this is a public reason to allow Russia to sell oil again, to allow Russia to start to build itself back up as well. We've got something larger coming. I don't know exactly. I mean, I got speculations, but I don't know exactly what it is. But we need everybody playing together quickly. And I'm seeing that happen. China's a big, giant question mark, but I actually think they're coming on board, or at least, if not, this is going to kind of help wrangle them in a little bit. They'll have to pay market prices from Russia to get Russian oil. That'll be good. Build infrastructure. They touch each other, I think, in a few parts right there. So easy to do that. This is a global change that's happening. Everybody says a lot of stuff, but we're seeing actions that paint a picture. We're moving in a direction, guys. Apparently some breaking news popped out. BlackRock just froze $1.2 billion in withdrawal requests. Wondering if this is slowing down some of the people trying to get out of 401ks to get their gold and silver especially. There's been a rush. It's being felt. It's one of the big ways you can impact these people, by the way, is by getting out of their funds. Take your money, take your buying power, and run. But investors in BlackRock's $26 billion fund asked to pull out 9.3% of their money. BlackRock said no, capped withdrawals at 5%. Blackstone's $82 billion of funds saw record withdrawal requests the same week. Blackstone had to put a $400 million of its own cash in to cover the exits. Two of the biggest funds on this planet are limiting how much you can take out because they don't have it. It's fractional. They've got stuff invested. The amount of cash companies keep on hand is limited. Payouts are essentially cash. Outside of that, you got to start to cash in on stuff. Well, the market's down right now. Things aren't where they were. Crypto's certainly not where it was. You see, they're probably invested in all sorts of crazy shit. Probably shorts and stuff like that on silver paper stocks. I don't know if these are open yet. I was wondering if the Asian stocks, let's see if I can get a refresh. Maybe that's just a quicker way to get to it. Obviously, Dow's not up. Oil's still sitting at 91, so that market doesn't seem to be open yet. I was wondering about the Asian markets, if they're, it's like, you know, shit, it's almost 3 p.m. Pacific time. Daylight changed. Buggers. Anyway, yeah. So the numbers are looking okay. Gold and silver are sitting right now at 51.81 for gold, and silver's at 84.690. So they're both doing well. We'll see. Crypto's sitting around again. It keeps popping up and down, up and down, up and down around 65. I don't know, 62, 63 up to 70. It seems to have a hard time staying over 70. They keep trying, but it's not happening. So I'm wondering about crypto. XRP is so low, it cracks me up. Again, it's still up a teeny bit from where I bought in. It's one of those things. I'm going to hang on to it until I go all the way down to nothing. I don't give a crap. It was something I never thought would necessarily pan out. But in case it did, I didn't want to be off the train, right? So yeah, it's crazy. Guys, look, one of the best ways you can mess these people, too, on top of protecting your buying power, by the way. I've said it before, buying power. You're not going to get rich off this. This will protect your buying power. What is that? Buying power. I have said this. People hate it. I say it all the time. Whatever. Handmade tailored suit. 1 gold coin back in 1915. Buying power. I bought a suit. That was the power of the purchase. I could buy a handmade tailored suit. Dude would measure me out and stitch me up a beautiful suit made with the finest luxuries of man, right? Today, this will buy me a handmade tailored suit. Buying power. Purchase power. Costs $5,200 now. Now, Federal Reserve notes. Talk about buying power. Federal Reserve notes back in 1915. 1 Federal Reserve note, you could buy 30 full-size Hershey chocolate bars. Today, $1 will get you a discount bag of gummy bears. Literally. There's like, 10 of them in there? 12 maybe, and they're kind of slimy. You don't even know what's up. You found them in a car wash. DRSlikesgold.com. The problem with the currency is it's losing value every day. So your stock market money's going up and down. It hit 50 and it's going down. But your problem is inflation every day. Every day you see gold going up. Okay? Gold is your inflation number. Pay attention to the price of gold. Silver's a different thing. We'll talk about it in a second. Gold is inflation. This purchase power, inflation. All right? This is the bobber on the inflation pool. It goes up in price. That means the dollar went down in value. It goes down in price. The dollar somehow went up in value. This is the bobber. Protects your buying power. This is a mixture. This protects buying power for sure, and the value of silver is going up and up and up. They've been pushing it down arbitrarily with the paper contracts. Some are saying they're trying to give the banks a chance to do the right thing. Others are saying this is the banks dying. I'm not sure which, but the Federal Reserve is supposed to come down, so I don't know how that plays out. I kind of look forward to seeing it. I mean, it's going to probably suck in some way, shape, or form, but I think they're ready for this. Precious metals are your step towards that. Any new currency we do from the Treasury is going to be precious metal backed. You're already there. You're already there. My good friends at Goldco, they'll hook this up for you. They'll take care of it tax-free, penalty-free. It's IRA 401k money specifically. You can buy from them specifically. That's a slightly different set of games and stuff, but 401k IRA, it's pre-tax money. They need to move it sideways. If they let you touch it in any way, shape, or form, anywhere along the process, you get fined and penalized. Period. End of story. Okay? I don't want to mislead anybody. I don't want anyone to be misled. If you take the money out early and you're underage, you get penalized. That's just the game. That's how it is. It's tax laws and all that nonsense. There's no way to get around it. 2, you get taxed to high hell. Don't do that. Move it sideways. That's what my friends at Goldco are going to help you do. Tax-free, penalty-free. Get as much of that sideways from your 401k or IRA, whoever they are, Fidelity, BlackRock, whatever. Move it. Get it away. Get it out of their system. Take it from them. And turn it and protect it. Precious metals, you're going to get up to 10% free silver. Go to DRSlikesgold.com. 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 Get out of their system while you can. While the inflation is not crazy. Watch the price of gold, guys. You keep waiting, you're going to see that number go higher and higher. That means you're losing buying power. Please, please, no. You won't even get a discount bag of gummy bears soon for $1. Chiclets will cost $1. Be smart. Get out. Take their power away from them and save your power. DRSlikesgold.com. DRSlikesgold.com. That system's nasty. All right, we got an Epstein story. You like that transition? It's fantastic. Epstein prison guards Googled him twice. Minutes before his body was found. Literally within a 10-minute span, Googled Epstein twice and also showed up with a $5,000 deposit in their bank account, just like 10 days before. How weird is that? There's also some guesses that the videos might have been tampered with because of this individual, and they might have thought that the one that showed in orange, that one video that some of you might have seen, I've seen it, where just there a moment, there's like 2-3 frames, or one frame it really looks like, of orange in there, and then it's gone. You're like, what? Who is that? Might have been this person. a chica, which I did not expect. I was expecting some buff security guard, but maybe it's up in the control room. You don't have to, you can be a girl, I guess, or maybe that's a man. I don't know. I don't make up things. I just report what I see. In the name, anyway, sorry. California may flip a 50-year nuclear moratorium because they're realizing, fuck, energy people are pulling out. We need to do something. They're talking about green energy and the newer reactors, I think post 2005 or something like that. If there it is, yeah, 2005. If they use the newer reactor types from then on, then they're cool with it. So they're changing their rules so they can allow more of this because they realize there's absolutely no chance in hell that they will be able to survive wind and solar only. We will die a painful death. So yes, they're making some change because, yeah, they're losing is what's happening. Elon Musk calls out, I love it too, by the way. I've been angry with them for a little bit now, and I keep making opportunities, and I use them still, but I have to always be careful how I spin their stories because they always do it fucked up. But Zero Hedge has lost a lot of respect from me. A lot of respect. It's huge, I don't even know. And so Elon Musk, it's funny, they call him out on a shit story. And I remember seeing this story too, it's funny. But the story, their headline, 100% of audited Medicaid claims for autism care in Colorado were improper or flawed. Report from whoever. And Elon Musk's sounds high. And he's right. Nothing's 100%, nothing's 0%. It's never, ever, all, or never, ever, none. Right? Like when any of you guys that ever studied for an SAT or something, that was one of the things they'd teach you. It's it's almost never, you never say never, but it's almost never the never or all. It's just not. None, all, those are usually ones you can remove because it's probably not the case. It's just, again, binary thinking. They've tried to make us that way for a long time. A lot of people are that way because of that. The British arrests for speech crimes dwarfs those of the former USSR. It's just, yeah, it's kind of funny. So between 1962 and 1985, I guess under Articles 70 and 190, the Soviet authorities were using these things. They arrested 3,234 people during that entire time. Okay, 62 to 85. Meanwhile, Britain recorded 2,341 prosecutions for online speech offenses in 2022 alone, resulting in 1,816 convictions. 3,200 over a span of, 23 years-ish? Yeah. And in 1 year, they've almost got that number. You go, Britain. You guys are becoming the communists. The whole thing with them and the crown owning everybody. So yeah, this is going to be very interesting how this happens. Britain is trying to censor Americans. So 4chan is now being threatened by this Ofcom group in Britain. And they don't even have offices there. They're literally based in Delaware. They have an office in Delaware. They literally have no footprint anywhere in Europe at all, only here in the United States. And literally Ofcom's so you got to do this, 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 and this, or else. You're an American company, and you got a European nation telling what you got to do as an American company. It's dude, huh? Do I have any say on this? Well, apparently we are fighting back, and this is not okay. I don't know if it's the American Civil. It would blow me away if it's the ACLU. It's actually fighting for these people. Yeah, it's constitutionally protected. Holy shit, they're actually fighting for them. That's a trip. Anyway, yeah, I don't want to spend a lot of time on the story, but yeah. Fuck it. That's awesome as hell. All right, Don Road Doctrine. Let's get into it. Let's get down and dirty, guys. President Trump tells Latin American leaders that we must start treating cartel terrorists as ISIS. The game's on. War is on. We're doing it all right now before elections. Again, it's funny how much stuff is happening right now, and it's overwhelming, and that's sort of intentional if you can kind of understand the optics problem that they're having. So it's pretty cool. Check it out.
Just as we formed a coalition to eradicate ISIS in the Middle East, we must now do the same thing to eradicate the cartels at home.
Wow, that's super loud. But yes, and he's right, and that's going to cause huge changes. Now, the DOJ is apparently building a criminal case against Cuba's communist leaders. They're kind of digging into some stuff. Sounds like the collapse of Cuba is coming soon. if when it happens, they want to have cases lined up and ready to go. This might be some of the Guantanamo stuff that's going to need to be happening too. It's, well, gee whiz, already on their same landmass. And I've always kind of wondered about that, by the way, guys. Has that ever struck anybody else as weird? Like, we've literally got a base on this communist place. Isn't that where Guantanamo is? Isn't it on Cuba? Am I wrong on that? I swear to God, I thought it was, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's a different island, right? Let's look it up real quick because I'm stupid. Guantanamo. I feel like that should be a song by the Beach Boys almost, right? All right, let's give me a map. Let's give us maps. Where's my choices of map? There you go. Give me a second while I find Guantanamo Bay. What is this? So there's Guantanamo. And that's Cuba, right? Okay. So, I mean, how? Just, it was worth the effort, because now all you guys are going to be like, what the fuck, really? Yeah, I know. We're like at war with these guys, and we're literally on their landmass. There's no reason not to. We got a road that drives right to Guantanamo. Hello. I mean, does it make sense yet? Venezuela's gas potential could overshadow its famous oil reserves. They have natural gas, a lot of it, and that's pretty easy to tap and make money on. So maybe this is the way we're going to juice the oil companies into going back there and trying to fix all the shit that's broken. Whatever. Seems to be what they're pushing for. All right, Iran. We got some nasty going on over there, I feel well. Donald Trump's UN ambassador, Mike Walls, reveals he has met with a lot of people, and boy, Iran's losing this in many, many ways.
It's clearly part of Iran's strategy, Martha, to sow discord, to attack their neighbors, our allies across the Gulf, and try to separate them from Washington by attacking their infrastructure, their ports, their oil and natural gas facilities, even their international airports and otherwise. And it's doing the exact opposite. It is backfiring on Iran. I have met with nearly every ambassador in the Gulf just in the last 48 hours. I've never seen them more unified. I've never seen them more outraged. I've talked to them quite a bit. You know, their population is under attack. And I think you're going to see that unity get more and more solid as the day, more solidified as the days go on.
You know, are they saying, how long is this going to last? How long do we have to, you know, put up with this incoming? Because clearly many of them were hesitant about getting into this fight initially.
Yeah. Well, I think what you're hearing from them isn't asking us that. It's demanding that of the Iranians.
Right.
Their leaders are talking to the Iranians and saying, what the heck do you think you're doing right now? But we saw fracturing, frankly, around Yemen. We saw some fracturing around Sudan between some of those countries. And again, they are incredibly unified right now. They're fighting back. They're hitting back. And they stand solidly with us and us with them.
Doing a great job of shooting some of this stuff out of the sky, that's for sure.
I don't think, I mean, again, we have a lot of naysayers. It's just, again, it's the information. And I'm trusting Trump. That's it. All there is to it. I like the people he's got around him right now. I mean, there's people that are fighting that too. I know that's the whole thing. Right? Anybody that's truly attacking Trump's inner circle, it's kind of funny because Trump's inner circle is chosen by Trump. That's all there is to it. If Trump needs to get rid of somebody, he'll get rid of somebody. But he's certainly not going to do it because, like, Laura Loomer says so. Like, he doesn't give a crap. It's not going to play out like that at all. There's an exiled Iranian crown prince. I don't know if you guys remember him from way back when, but Reza Pahlavi. He has accepted the responsibility of serving as Iran's transitional leader as the Islamic regime is ousted. Sounds like this might be the guy that's trying to work a deal with Trump, and I think Trump's actually even spoke positively of this dude. But yeah, the Iranian people would, I think, dig this guy. He was reasonably popular. We'll see. But he would be a good person to put in that place because he's actually kind of knows how leadership works, knows what needs to happen. And then there's obviously a lot of rebuilding that's going to need to happen. Donald Trump, truth this, Iran, which is being beat to hell, has apologized and surrendered to its Middle East neighbors and promised that it will not shoot at them anymore. This promise was only made because of the relentless U.S. and Israeli attacks. They were looking to take over and rule the Middle East. It is the first time that Iran has ever lost in thousands of years to surrounding Middle Eastern countries. They have said, thank you, President Trump. I have said, you're welcome. Iran is no longer the bully of the Middle East. They are instead the loser of the Middle East and will be for many decades until they surrender or, more likely completely collapse. Today, Iran will be hit very hard, under serious consideration for complete destruction and certain death. Because of Iran's bad behavior, are areas and groups of people that were not considered for targeting up until this moment in time. Thank you for your attention to this matter. This means literally leaders in all walks are going to be destroyed. And the one guy that was threatening Trump and saying, we welcome him to come. We welcome him. My guess is that dude is on that target list. So, we welcome you. You piece of shit. And again, I'm not cool with killing, but we're in a very interesting time. And they say self-defense, right? And I do think these guys kind of have a boner for being dickholes to everybody that doesn't believe their crazy version of religion. And frankly, I don't like anybody that tries to force their beliefs on me. That's your beliefs, man. That's cool. Let's talk about them. That's fun. But don't force your shit on me. Please. I got my beliefs. They should count for something, shouldn't they? Iran's crisis escalates. Oil prices jump as attacks stop the Strait of Hormuz shipping, except for China, Russia, and maybe a few others. Now, I wanted to spend a second on this just because I thought it was worth it. And like I've said before, the video game I've played before, you've got to try to sneak a sub through here. It is really hard to do. You can do it, but you got to be patient as fuck. It's really hard. That said, this is a very small area. Iran owns all this shit up here. All this is Iran, okay? So they can put missiles all over this islands, right? And that's what they did. So they've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of missiles, anti-shipping missiles for sure. And even if we sent a destroyer in, it would be so many drones, missiles, it would be bad. Likely very bad. Now, what I wonder is, do they need a decoy? Or how do you get them to light up all that stuff and figure out where it's at? Or do we have something that's strong enough that can at one time a whole area and just microwave any drones that are shot down? Because they'd probably come in a giant-ass swarm, and we'd need to use Space Force to do something and actually acknowledge that we've got weapons that are beyond reproach. This area is a very tricky area. Now, let me sort of help a little bit, okay? I drew a little thing. This is the Strait of Hormuz, and I found a depth map because I want people to understand it's very shallow here. For submarines, tricky. Because you need to be down a little bit to be quiet and travel fast. You need to be down a little bit, depending on thermal layers and whatnot, to minimize and even visual from the surface. Like, I think 60 feet, you can actually still see a submarine to a degree. So 27 miles from here. It's about roughly the same distance over here. I think it's a little bit longer, 33 miles to the island from here, right in the center. This is a small little area where you, as a boat, have to turn because it's too shallow anywhere else. Now we've got some depths. Where are the depths? These are 42, 40, 38. These are feet. 64. When you're a boat and your hull goes down a little ways, like, dude, 64 feet deep's not that deep. I mean, it's deep, but deep enough for a ship, but it's pretty shallow. As a submarine, 62 feet, you're up 20 feet. Now your top of you is 40 feet from the surface. Like, it's visible. I'm telling you, and you make a lot of noise because you're very close to the surface. Now, sonar doesn't work really well, I don't think, at those depths. But anyways, it is kind of crazy there. So understand, this is literally a very dangerous thing that Iran owns this whole island, okay? So they can line shit up all over the place. We know that. We have to. But I'm sure Iran's been somewhat smart, or they've got the stuff underground, or I don't know. But these are very key critical things. We got to keep these things in mind because we can't just send a carrier group in there or some shit. And that's what Iran wants us to do. We'd get annihilated. A destroyer, an Arleigh Burke would get rocked probably. It'd be overwhelmed. Unless it's one of those three or they go in there together and that little fucking radar thing has the ability to just drop drones by the billions and we got to test it, then maybe. And then we just cremate them at the same time. Like have planes en route. I mean, it would be scary, but we'd probably pull it off if we did it right. So again, this will be a very contentious place. Trump truthed. Iran I already played that. We don't need to do that again. Donald Trump posted this, though. The United Kingdom, our once great ally, maybe the greatest of them all, is finally giving serious thought to sending 2 aircraft carriers to the Middle East. Oh, good. That's okay, Prime Minister Starmer. We don't need them any longer. But we will remember, we don't need people that join wars after we've already won. President Donald J. Trump. Uh-oh. England. Now, again, love the English people, always. Your guys' crown, no offense. For the Queen. No. Israeli Air Force has been blowing the hell out of this place where there's underground bunkers, okay? I want to give you an idea of what this underground bunker's like. It'll trip you out. It was a very well done video. But this is them trying to blow it up. Israel sent 50 fighters with 100+ munitions. Sounds like 2 per F-15 or 2 per plane. Probably deep penetrator bunker busters. Let me show you how, this is a little example of them attacking them. It's only 23 seconds of them trying to hit the relative same spot. They hit the same spots relatively. Now, the layout's very interesting. So appreciate what's happened. 50 fighters, 100+ munitions to take this, what seems like a small area out. What is this small area? And you will appreciate this, I think. Here's 54 seconds explaining what is this small area. Check it out. I guess I can talk. I'm going to stay out of the picture, though. Here it is. Magic mirror. Presidential office, Supreme Leader office. Pretty big layout. Entry points all over there. See these underground tunnels? So they got the main area, which we're going to see in a second. They can get to this thing all over the place. So they've shut down the tunnels. Look how deep that goes. Multiple layers down. I don't know, what is that, 5, 6, 7 layers down? Still concrete, crazy concrete. Concrete's really hard to blow through. Penetrators have a hard time getting all the way through. Look at this underground area. Look at how crazy nice this is. Many rooms. These pictures, elaborate, electricity. It's fabulous. It's gorgeous. Here's where the leader can preach to everyone. Yeah, this is literally what we're going against. And we're taking this down, supposedly. And again, it's kind of cool that Israel's doing it. Maybe we'll let their softening, and then we're going to come in with the B-52s with those giant, deep, penetrating bunker busters. Because again, it's got to go down far. And since those things are now allowed to be at Diego Garcia, which I believe we're taking advantage of, then we are quite possibly going to hit them here with those. Now, they might try to wait until they somehow try to go back in or assess whether or not Israel was able to do it with their conventional payloads. And if not, we might utilize some of the holes they've made to make deeper holes. We might even just do it with the penetrators we've got, the 2,000 pounders, because the B-2s have been flying those as well. And from just standard data online, they can hold 20 of those 2,000 pounders. So that's a pretty hardy attack. They hit a pretty big area, the petroleum in Iran. I think it was refinery of some kind. But yeah, pretty big explosion there. Should have made that bigger, but yeah, crazy. Crazy sauce, I tell you. This is also wildly crazy. Let me see if I can get back to turn this off. There we go. And this is a U.S. Embassy. And they got what's called a CRAM. And apparently this is some counter-rocket artillery mortar. These exist in a number of different fashions. But it's a land-based defense system that uses radar to detect incoming rockets, artillery, mortars, and drones, and then automatically engages with a rapid-fire 20 millimeter Gatling gun, and it fires explosive rounds. Reasonably cheap. This is where I think they've said we've managed to bring down the price of destroying these things legitimately lower. You know, we're not using millions of dollars shooting a missile at a thing. We're now using something else. But this is pretty wild. Check this out. You might think this is cool. I would assume that's a sound you like to hear. Might scare the crap out of you, but at the same time, I mean, it gives you a warning. You're like, something's going to hit us or not. Explosion hits U.S. Embassy in Oslo. I don't believe it was an incoming round. I think it was actually someone did something on the ground. No reported injuries. I don't know. We'll see if anything else comes from that. Donald Trump truthed out. We just concluded a very good meeting with the largest U.S. defense manufacturing companies where we discussed production and production schedules. They have agreed to quadruple production of the exquisite class weaponry in that we want to reach as rapidly as possible the highest level of quantity. Expansion began 3 months prior to the meeting, and plants and production of many of these weapons are already underway. We have a virtually unlimited supply of medium and upper medium grade munitions, which we are using, as an example, in Iran and recently used in Venezuela. Regardless, however, we have also increased orders at these levels. The companies representing were the CEOs of BAE Systems, Boeing, Honeywell Aerospace, L3 Harris Missile Solutions, and Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and Raytheon. The meeting concluded with another meeting scheduled in 2 months. States all over the country are bidding for these new plants. Thank you to your attention to this matter. So we are stepping up the pace. Preparing, I think, to help China make the proper decision, or at least help remove the CCP. Maybe China needs help on that. We'll see. I don't know how exactly that one plays out either. We're going to have some fun on this movie. The new Iran Supreme Leader is chosen, but his identity is being kept quiet, obviously, because they don't want him to die just yet. They'd like him to at least stay in charge for like a day, I think. But yeah, we'll see how that plays out as well. Iranian drone strike Bahrain desalination plant was the worst case scenario unfolding. So, I mean, we hit their desalination plant. I guess they're now attacking desalination plants in the Arab world, which is just causing more Arab countries to be pissed off at Iran. It's not working well for them. Turkey is mulling the F-16 deployment to Turkish-occupied Cyprus amid the Iran war tensions. So they are talking about basically saying, look, we're going to put some pressure on this. We're going to put some stuff close to where the problem is, and we're going to help. Let's put it that way. President Trump says it was Iran that bombed this elementary school. There's a story running around. Of course, it's always, most of these are pushed out by the Iranian propaganda media, but whatever the case is, they still have this going on, and this is Trump talking about it.
Did the United States bomb a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war and kill 175 people?
In my opinion, based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
Is that true, Mr. Hickson? It was Iran who did that?
Investigating.
Still investigating.
But the only side that targets civilians is Iran.
We think it was done by Iran. Because they're very inaccurate, as you know, with their munitions. They have no accuracy whatsoever. It was done by Iran.
Can you give us an idea of what unconditional surrender?
Can you tell me what it sounds like when someone that's gay starts talking? Because I'm just curious. I just wonder if that's what it sounds like. Pentagon FAA agreed to conduct an anti-drone laser test in the White Sands, New Mexico facility. I don't know why this is news. I'm sure we do this kind of crazy testing. They tried to bring up the FAA thing that happened and all the bullshit around that. I don't know why they're really trying to spin that, because I think it pisses them off severely that we have awesome technology that's totally going to fuck with the cartels and their little drone plans. Like, the cartels are just like, damn. And that's what's up. We're testing cool stuff so we, can protect our own bases, our own place. And those lasers can probably be aimed downward if they need to. Say someone comes and starts trying to shoot them with a gun or something weird like that, and be like, and just fry that mofo. Maybe that's why they don't want AI to be able to do that, but that's what you'd want it to do. I mean, if you're going to go and shoot at one, and it's going to shoot you. But we're totally heading into a scary-ass direction with that. Anyway, never be able to go to the border again, right? The thing just looks at you, put your ID in. It's like, it's scary. Let's see. This is fun. Europe is, they're pretty pissed off at Zelensky. And Viktor Orban, he's kind of got almost a mini war. It's almost like Viktor Orban is actually going to join Russia and start bombing Ukraine. I bet his people would probably support it. You know, maybe they should do a poll. Do you support bombing Ukraine and helping Russia? But needless to say, they're pissed off about the fact that Ukraine shut off their oil from Russia and it's costing them all sorts of money. It's not helping this EU partner. And then now they're pissed at the EU because the EU's like, yeah, we want to bring Zelensky in. And they're like, these guys fucking hate us. These are dicks. No. And yeah, Zelensky's starting to get a little like bummed because, one, people aren't paying attention. Two, someone might veto his $90 billion or 90 billion euros of money that he's hoping to get here shortly. And it sounds like Hungary's making that difficult for them. Apparently, Finland's talking about trying to get some NATO nuclear weapons on their soil. Curious how that one plays out, because it ain't going to be us giving them to Finland. I know that. Might be UK, maybe. But I don't know what kind of, if we're just talking about bombs or what, because that's just like, okay, you got a bomb. We'll give you one. You know, you can feel safe that way. And maybe that's what a lot of this is. These people are paying money for nuclear weapons so they can feel safe. That's pretty much what it sounds like to me. England's broke. And they're pimping out everything they have. The PJM Market Monitor opposes Maryland coal plant sale to a data center company. It's funny, it's an existing coal plant, and they were trying to buy it from the market and then use it for themselves. And they're like, we're worried that you're just going to take this power away from our grid, and we kind of can't have that. So no, we're going to try to keep that from happening. It's an interesting concept, though. They should build one, and that was what the whole law was supposed to be. This is a 260 megawatt facility. It's coal, oddly. But yeah, these data centers are going to have to pay for the power facilities, and that's just going to be how it is. So it's going to be weird when those start really building up. And they're going to take, I don't know, a couple of years to build one up. Well, at least a year to build one up from nothing, but you still got to put all the crap inside of it, and they're going to be huge. The systems to circulate the air. I mean, it's going to be in so much. And then testing, that's going to, oh my God. So anyway, it's going to take a while to spin a big-ass data center up, especially one that needs its own power station. Olympic champion Alyssa Liu, she withdrew from the World Figure Skating Championships. Pretty cool. She's like, fuck you guys. I don't need to compete in your stupid thing. I just won the gold, bitch. So that's basically what happened. In a nutshell. Let's see. No, I didn't. I should have chopped this crap out. Nice. Well, guys, we've got a lot, again, happening. I do think, I wanted to throw this at some of you guys, by the way. This is something that hit me earlier. Firmament, Tartaria, Golden Dome. Just let those three things kind of marinate together a little bit and just see, I don't know, something that kind of popped in, because I do kind of think the Golden Dome is a bit more of a firmament kind of thing that maybe got turned off, or maybe a lot of people talking about all sorts of hidden stuff and Greenland, and anyway, there's a lot of weird. Anyway, well, woo! Who knows? Who knows? Was it the choo-choo train? Woo, woo! That's what I'm talking about. All that said, we got a lot happening. I want to remind you guys, too, of my cool merch. If you guys want to check it out, I do have some newer, well, not newer, I got beanies, I got hats, and I got shirts, baseball shirts. I even got some extra colors now. So if you guys want to check it out, we got some very cool stuff. It's bonfire.com/store/Dan-RadioStyle. It's bonfire.com/store/Dan-RadioStyle. You'll be stoked. Cool stuff. And I'll try to work it. We got sweatshirts. We got all sorts of crap in there. So I'll try to get some more stuff. If you guys have ideas, throw them my way. I can't. They limit the way you can put the logo on stuff. So someone was like, put this on the side, and it's like they don't let you do that. It's kind of simple in what you can put. But if any of you guys have types of stuff you'd like to see my logo on, they've got all sorts of crazy apparel, like wallets and weird shit like that. I don't know. I'd be up for it. If someone's interested in ordering one, I'll put one up there. Let me know. bonfire.com/store/Dan-RadioStyle. I love you guys. We're going to keep rocking and rolling, and we're going to keep making a difference in this world. And I'm proud to be a part of it. Hope you guys are too. Where we go one, we go all. It's On the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle.